So here I am again with another breeder queen. This time this one came from a UK breeder, Duncan Simmons, who's very kindly sent me one of his most amazing queens. I've seen her when she's laying. She was inseminated last year. Beautiful number 32, if you can see her there. She's going under a pushing cage. So just talk about this. That was the bees that came with her. But this pushing cage on this frame is a really nice one because we've got some nectar running in now, and you can see there's emerging bees here. I've got a really nice flat frame here, which is what I really like when we choose one. So it means that there's nectar right where the queen is going to need it, because she's not going to be eating now for the next 4 or 5 days till I release her. But also there's nurse bees hatching instantly. So that means I've chosen this frame so that when I pull it out, there won't be nothing under the cage. There'll be nurse bees with her. See, these bees are being born. So what I do is I get the cage, check it's all square. Well, you should have done this before, but it's what I always do. Just straighten that bit out so it goes in vertically. You do damage a little bit of brood, but you guarantee you get. So I don't want to give her too many bees. I've just released one before that had so many bees under that the queen couldn't lay because she almost blocked. So I'm going to just put her about kind of here, but you must distract the queen instantly. So put her down. There you go. She's not going to run anywhere. And she's nice, and she's a mature queen, and she's been laying before. So she's now under the cage. We can push this in. And because this cage is on a really flat surface, I can push it in properly, and the wax is older. And I've actually found something that I haven't done before. I've found that when you use new frames that were drawn up recently, sometimes the queens can escape. And I know they can escape for other reasons, but it's easier for the bees to dig under the edges of the cage. And there's the risk she could be killed a little bit earlier when she's not been accepted. But you'll know when she's been accepted, because after 4 days there'll be eggs in the cells, and these nurse bees that are just being born, you can see they're light brown in colour. They'll be underneath this cage. There's one they're about to hatch. They'll start to feed her, to care for her. She will come back into lay, and then she's accepted on the outside of the colony. Okay, we'll carry this over to the nuke. So I've got a nice little nuke I've made that I put in the corner here, and I made it from another one in the apiary, so all the flying bees have disappeared. So this has got loads and loads of hatching bees in this nuke. They're all nurse bees. You can see they're all hatching out at the moment. This is exactly what you want to get a queen established, especially when you've got a very valuable queen that I know Duncan is extremely anxious I look after her well. So don't worry, Duncan, she's in the best possible hands because she is having the best care. So we're going to drop her in. There's plenty of brood hatching everywhere. She's in there. I'll mark on the top of there with my pen afterwards. I always mark the top where the cage is. Mark that there. I'll come back and get a pen in a second. But I know that the cage is there, and I've checked this colony for queen cells. I checked that there's none of those little stubby ones that are made in the brood. We have a name for those that I can't repeat on air because it's rude, but they are a little pain in the ass because they hatch out just when your queen is released or a few days after. And it does two things. They either kill your queen straight away because they don't think there's enough bees in the colony to swarm with, or they make your queen swarm. And I've had that a couple of times. So it's very interesting to know the reactions you get when you introduce a new queen to a colony. But if you check for queen cells, the queen under the cage comes into lay. The bees change her manner because the nurse bees know nobody else. I've gone through this so many times before, but everyone forgets it. It's one of the safest ways to introduce queens into a colony, that you have a queen in a cage. You'll get her laying again. You get her how the bees are going to accept her. They have a laying queen under the cage. They're passing that pheromone between the outside of the cage and the inside. The bees on the outside accept her, and when you lift off the cage, she just walks off and starts laying. If you want to see the full story, go to my website. I did a video at Mike Palmer's place in 2015. It's called Requeening in Vermont. It's exactly this. It's how to introduce a non-laying queen into a colony that wants a laying queen, and this is always the best way. So then we'll release her in 4 days. There'll be absolutely no problem, and I can then immediately graft from her because all the eggs that she lays I can graft from straight away. So that's a real bonus because I'm actually short of breeder material now. I'm looking to get some new breeder queens in. I'm starting with new lines this year. So anyway, that's it.